Aedra and Daedra, author unknown. The designations of gods, demons, Aedra and Daedra are universally confusing to the layman. They are often used interchangeably. Aedra and Daedra are not relative terms. They are elvish and exact. Azura is a Daedra both in Skyrim and Morrowind. Aedra is usually translated as ancestor, which is as close as Cyrodiilic can come to this elven concept. Daedra means roughly not our ancestors. This distinction was crucial to the Dunmer, whose fundamental split in ideology is represented in their mythical genealogy. Aedra are associated with stasis. Daedra represent change. Aedra created the mortal world and are bound to the earth bones. Daedra, who cannot create, have the power to change. As a part of the divine contract of creation, the Aedra can be killed. Witness Lorcan and the Moons. The Protean Daedra, for whom the rules do not apply, can only be banished. The 10 Commands of the 9 Divines, author unknown. By the intercession of Saint Alacia, you may be so filled with grace, and the strength and wisdom that comes from grace, that through these teachings you may come to the true meaning of the 9 Divines and their glories, to convey to man's mind all the manifold subtleties of truth and virtue may not be done, were all the seas ink, and all the skies the parchment upon their wisdoms were writ. Yet Akatosh, in his wisdom, knowing how impatient is man, and how loath he is to travel upon the hard roads of truth, has allowed these 10 simple commands to be made manifest with powerful clarity and concise definition. Stendarr says, "Be kind and generous to the people of Tamriel, protect the weak, heal the sick, and give to the needy." Arkay says, "Honor the earth, its creatures, and the spirits living and dead. Guard and tend the bounties of the mortal world, and do not profane the spirits of the dead." Mara says, "Live soberly and peacefully. Honor your parents and preserve the peace and security of home and family." Zenithar says, "Work hard and you will be rewarded. Spend wisely and you will be comfortable. Never steal or you will be punished." Talos says, "Be strong for war. Be bold against enemies and evil, and defend the people of Tamriel." Kynareth says, "Use nature's gifts wisely. Respect her power, and fear her fury." Dibella says, "Open your heart to the noble secrets of art and love. Treasure the gifts of friendship. Seek joy and inspiration in the mysteries of love." Julianos says, "Know the truth. Observe the law. When in doubt, seek wisdom from the wise." Akatosh says, "Serve and obey your emperor. Study the covenants. Worship the 9. Do your duty, and heed the commands of saints and priests." The 9 say, "Above all else, be good to one another." If only each man might look into the mirror of these commands and see reflected there the bliss that might enfold them. Were he to serve in strict obedience to these commands, he would be cast down and made contrite and humble. The obedient man may come to the altars of the 9 and be blessed, and may receive the comfort and healing of the 9, and may give thanks for his manifold blessings. Heedless, the wicked man turns away, and forsaking the simple wisdoms granted to him by the all-wise and all-knowing 9, he lives in sin and ignorance all the days of his life. He bears the awful burden of his crimes, and before men and God his wickedness is known, and neither blessing nor comfort may he expect from the altars and shrines of the 9. Yet the wicked and foolish are not doomed. For their infinite mercies, the 9 have said, "Repent and do good works, and the fountains of grace shall once more spill forth upon you." Repent your crimes. Tender unto the emperor the fines of gold, that they may be used to spread the faith and its benefits to all men. Do yourself good works. Redeem your infamy by shining deeds. Show to all men and the Nine the good fame of the righteous man. And you may once again approach the altars and shrines of the chapel to receive the comfort and blessings of the Nine. The Book of Daedra. Author Anonymous. Azura, whose sphere is dusk and dawn, the magic in between realms of twilight known as Moonshadow, Mother of the Rose, and Queen of the Night Sky. Boethia, whose sphere is deceit and conspiracy, and the secret plots of murder, assassination, treason, and unlawful overthrow of authority. Clavicus Vile, whose sphere is the granting of power and wishes through ritual invocations and pact. Hermaeus Mora, whose sphere is scrying of the tides of fate, of the past and future as read in the stars and heavens, and in whose dominion are the treasures of knowledge and memory. Hircine, whose sphere is the hunt, the sport of Daedra, the great game, the chase, known as the huntsman and the father of man-beasts. Malakath, whose sphere is the patronage of the spurned and ostracized, the keeper of the sworn oath and the bloody curse. MEHRUNES Dagon, whose sphere is destruction, change, revolution, energy, and ambition. Mephala, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, known by the names Web Spinner, Spinner, and Spider, whose only consistent theme seems to be interference in the affairs of mortals for her amusement. Meridia, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, who is associated with the energies of living things. Molag Bal, whose sphere is the domination and enslavement of mortals, whose desire is to harvest the souls of mortals and to bring mortal souls within his sway by spreading seeds of strife and discord in the mortal realms. Namira, whose sphere is the ancient darkness, known as the Spirit Daedra, ruler of sundry dark and shadowy spirits, associated with spiders, insects, slugs, and other repulsive creatures which inspire mortals with an instinctive revulsion. Nocturnal, whose sphere is night and darkness, who is known as the Night Mistress. Periite, whose sphere is the ordering of the lowest orders of oblivion, known as the Taskmaster. Sanguine, whose sphere is the hedonistic revelry and debauchery and passionate indulgences of darker natures. Sheogorath, whose sphere is madness and whose motives are unknowable. Vermina, whose sphere is the realm of dreams and nightmares, and from whose realm issues forth evil omens. Especially marked for special interest under the heading of Malakath, you find a reference to Scourge, blessed by Malakath, and dedicated to the use of mortals. In short, the reference suggests that any Daedra attempting to invoke the weapon's powers will be expelled into the void streams of oblivion. Of the legendary artifacts of the Daedra, many are well known, like Azura's Star and Sheogorath's Wabbajack. Others are less well known, like Scourge, Makin's Hammer, Bane of Daedra. Yet, though Malakath blessed Scourge to be potent against his Daedra kin, he thought not that it should fall into Daedric hands, than to serve as a tool for private war among Caitiff and Forsaken. Thus did Malakath curse the device such that, should any dark kin seek to invoke its powers, that a void should open and swallow that Daedra, and purge him into oblivion's void streams, from thence to pathfind back to real and unreal worlds in the full order of time.
We tilled Skyrim's ground despite frozen toil. We tended the Quama